this is Pac and Mac, and we have arrived safely and soundly. I don't think that's quite a word, but we're safe and sound, and we're here in Japan. How you feeling?
I'm great. I'm actually very happy that we finally got around to do episode 2.
I know.
So episode 1, we were about to move here. We were packing. We had everything upside down in our previous home. And we had a lot of doubts and questions in our head about how the whole process was going to be. So it's really good to be on this side.
It is.
And we're really happy that our 3 cats made it too.
I know.
That was a big component of our anxiety, I suppose, if we want to make it safely or not. But yeah, I'm ecstatic. I'm so happy that we are here. And I suppose we're going to be doing this every week. Okay, we're going to be good. And try to keep you guys updated.
Showing up, same time, same place, every week.
Exactly. Yeah, you know the drill. So yeah, so in this second episode, we just want to share with you guys what it's been like for the last 2 months since we got here. So
it's been a bit of a journey.
It's been a journey.
A really, really fun journey, though. I mean, there's been some challenges, and there's definitely been some moments where we've sort of had to take a breath. Because I think that's a challenge, though, of moving to any new country or a new place, anytime there's big change. But what about for you? What were some of the things that you found the most, well, I'm going to use the word challenging, but also interesting, like in the move that you probably weren't expecting?
Look, I think the time that I remember I was the most anxious here was by far, we've been here 2 months, right? 2 months and a bit. And in that time, we have had 2 earthquakes.
Yes. And
2 typhoons.
Yes.
And just the biggest typhoon in recorded history for the last few decades or something like that. So the one just a couple nights ago.
Yes.
Right?
Hagibis. Yep.
Number 19.
Yes.
Because here in Japan, typhoons are numbered. But elsewhere, they actually put a name on it. So it turns out that Hagibis is a Philippine word. So I suppose maybe it was named in the Philippines when, where the typhoon originated.
Yes.
And but in here in Japan is number 19. But when the number, what was the 14 or something,
yes.
right? When our cats were en route here, they were on their way here, and they were supposed to land here at 7 a.m. on a Sunday, just about the same time as this other massive typhoon hit land in Japan. So all that day was insane. All that weekend was kind of insane. Because we arrived to Japan, and then the cats had to stay behind for 40 days because they haven't finished their quarantine. So a friend of ours was kind enough to keep the cats for 40 days. And so when that time has lapsed, they finally were able to get on a plane and come here. But of course, the typhoon had another plan. And in the end, long story short, in the end, the typhoon arrived. The cats, their flight was delayed. They arrived safely, but it took them about 48 hours, I think, the whole journey for them, which is a lot more than we had expected. They got delayed in the airport. And the guy that went to pick the cats at the airport, he took basically the whole day to get to Narita Airport, which is freaking far away. It got, the roads to get there were blocked or damaged. So essentially the whole day, I was a mess. Because, I was thinking, are they eating? They must be freaking out. Are they drinking water? As you can tell, we love our cats. But, once they got here, I felt like the move had been successful and completed.
I agree, because I don't think I really knew what a typhoon was until we experienced it. Like, I knew what it was. I knew it was a big storm, but I'd never experienced a typhoon before.
What?
So I kind of always thought, when people saying, the typhoon, it's like, oh yeah, a storm's coming. We have, I've experienced floods before. I've experienced, bushfires, but I'd never experienced a typhoon before. So I don't think I clearly understood how much it was going to impact on their flight. So, and also too, I was unaware of, I think my first nerves hit me, one, when I realized it was going to hit at the exact same time their plane was about to land. That's crazy. Yeah. But then also too, on our phones, we get alerts. In Japan, you get these emergency alerts on your phone, not via text message, but they just appear with a very loud ringing that is very...
How many times have we had to prepare for evacuation since we got here? 3 times?
3 times. No, 4 or 5.
4 or 5? No, like we actually packed our bags. Well, you packed the bags for me because I was a little bit lazy. I was like, nah, it's still level 4 alert. There's a whole 5 levels.
Oh, to go.
So level 4 is prepare to evacuate, and level 5 is evacuate. Like go ahead and immediately evacuate. So level 4, for example, in this Hagibis, they said that we should prepare with food for 3 days, water for 3 days, because there was a possibility that we could lose power, lose drinking water. The supermarkets, apparently they had like sold out some foods and stuff like that.
Even Thursday night when we went and had a look, they were still quite bare.
Yeah, that's the thing, because you get so much notice of these things, which is good. I mean, unlike earthquakes, you cannot foresee them. They just come whenever they want, and you have like seconds, if that, to prepare. With a typhoon, you have usually a few days, and so that's good because you get a lot of prep time. But then I also feel like the panic starts to generate, and like it's a little bit crazy, and perhaps people over prepare. I don't know.
But to give them absolute props, they're amazing at organizing you and making sure they're giving you plenty of notice of what's happening.
Right, exactly.
So that's
very
really
Japanese. The whole organization and prepare for the worst, but
well, yeah,
because you never know.
Yeah,
but where we're living at the moment, we got this really nice house. I'm so happy with the place that we got.
We're very fortunate.
We are at the top of a hill.
Yes.
And so we get a really nice view. And so I suppose if a tsunami ever hit, I mean, knock on wood, I think people will actually be evacuating towards us.
Yes.
Right? The only problem is that, to go anywhere, we have to like go up and down the hill with the groceries and everything. But I think that's really helping with our fitness level.
I think so too.
I think it has, because we don't have a car, unlike the place we used to live before. Yeah, where when you have a car and you use a car to go just anywhere, that's really bad. But in here, we don't even have a bicycle yet. We've been pretty good just kind of walking to places and catching the bus, taking the train. So anyway, but I'm kind of like derailing from Hagibis, right? So we prepared to evacuate. Fortunately, the alert never went on to level 5, so we just stayed home. And our home, the windows, they have this like triple layer of protection. It's the glass, the mesh, and then this like steel window kind of thing. It's hard to explain because I don't know what the proper name for it is. Look like those storefront doors like made of metal,
It reminds me of Titan Shed. I don't know why. When we first came to look at the house, I was thinking, why are we going to be living in a shed?
I have not seen that in Japan.
I've never seen it.
No, I thought it was maybe a new legislation that they got into the years that I haven't been here, and all the neighbors around here in this house, they have it, and a lot of them actually keep them closed permanently. So I thought it was maybe just to minimize the noise that you generate to other neighbors, but that kind of sucks because then you don't get any daylight.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to live like that.
But now we know. They are actually, we are very grateful for them because during the typhoon, they really protected the windows. They minimized the shaking of the house, definitely from the wind.
So I suppose because we're at the top of the hill, we do get a lot of wind.
Yes.
So much so that in the previous typhoon, when the cats arrived, we have this balcony overlooking the city. And that's beautiful. Where we hang our clothes. It's really nice. We have this little roof in it. And I suppose the wind started blowing really strongly from, underneath. And it blew it away. It blew that little roof all with the post that was holding it in place. It has like a couple steel poles holding it in place. One of them remained in place. The other one was blown away over the house. It landed on the other side of the house. I found that the next morning, and I just found pieces of the whole thing. It was crazy. I'm just really glad that it didn't land on people's property or people, themselves. So that was crazy. So when they say this Hagibis was even worse than the previous one, I actually got a little bit worried.
Me too.
Even though, we're all settled and the cats are here, we didn't have that in our minds.
Yes.
I don't know. They just kept saying that this is going to be awful. And it was actually. Yes. I mean, we were lucky. It's not that it wasn't.
No.
I mean, people died, unfortunately. That was pretty sad. And I was seeing a few images from Nagano that were completely underwater. So yeah, it's crazy. It's I guess we were just lucky that particularly where we are at the moment, the wind was not really hitting on an angle that damaged our property or but it's just crazy, man. It's like, it makes you think how this place, Japan, is so prone to natural disasters. Because while the typhoon was happening, what happened? Do you remember what happened?
I do remember what happened. I was
insane.
thinking that, wow, the wind must be blowing strong. Yeah. But then I realized that we were actually having an earthquake at the same time that the typhoon was hitting. We're just adding to the excitement.
Insane. Oh,
but
man.
no, it was, it's only my second earthquake. So once again, a new experience for me.
This was a level 3 apparently.
A level 3.
Because we have an app, and the app tells you there's an earthquake incoming, provided that you're far away from the epicenter enough to get some kind of warning. So this time the epicenter was at sea near Chiba, so there was no warning. We had like 0-second warning, and I think there was 2 earthquakes. The first one was kind of short, and that's when we felt the house kind of shaking a little bit, and that's when I thought, oh my god, the wind is shaking the house.
That's what we
some
thought.
Pretty serious wind,
because
right? To
in
shake
the
a
first
house.
typhoon we did have wind that shook the house, so it was
Wow.
quite an interesting experience. That's for sure.
It's like houses here, I don't know if they're incredibly fragile or incredibly well built, because they don't look very sturdy, and you can hear through the walls inside the house and everything, but this house is like 30 something years old, right? And standing strong. It's been over earthquakes and not tsunamis, typhoons and all these things. Oh yeah, so on the second earthquake, that's when I got the notification for the first one, which is already a little bit late, and that's how we knew it was.
It was coming.
It was trembling while the typhoon was actually crossing just at the same time. Man, you gotta love Japan.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just. Where do you have that? Where else do you have that kind of stuff going on? No. It's insane. But the ability of the Japanese people to repair and get back to normal is just uncanny. Man, the trains, the roads. I mean, you can tell they've been doing this for a while.
Yes.
And it's just insane how things were back to normal pretty much on Sunday.
Oh my goodness.
Trains were running again.
Yeah. And then on Monday, everything was back to normal.
I know, yeah. And except for these places where, they were underwater completely, I suppose. That's a different story. But for the most part, near Tokyo, Chiba, Yokohama, all those places, it was insane. So that has been kind of crazy.
I think it's a testament to how, and this is something else I've noticed here, that people here are so resilient and just also really, they come together to help each other. I mean, even myself, I know just being here it's been a really wonderful experience, because even though I am still very much learning the language and very new, I've never felt any hostility. That people have been really, really supportive and helpful and lovely, and every time I've needed help, there's been somebody, just what is it called? A random act of kindness, a stranger, someone helping me out, trying to find my way. I feel like here, people really come together, and I think that's a big thing too after something like this, a typhoon, or you can just really feel that energy across the place.
Yeah, no, good on him. So on that front, so far, so good. I mean, it's been kind of crazy. It's been new experiences for us because we didn't have that much and that many natural disasters anywhere else that we have lived. But 2 months and counting it, and let's see if there's any more of this before the year end. I don't know. I think the typhoon season, it is a season, so we might see 1 or 2 before the end of the year. So who knows? But I mean, not to deter anybody from coming, because it's
an amazing place.
Doom and gloom, and as I say, you get plenty of warning with typhoons and all that. So if you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah.
But we have been doing lots of other things.
Yeah, let's talk about the fun things.
The fun things that we've been doing.
All right. So what has been your favorite place or activity that we have done or you have done since you got here?
Oh my goodness.
Food.
I was going to say, I'm going to be a goofball and go with food.
Yeah.
My new favorite place to go. We found this really great little place that sells donuts, vegan donuts, which is even more exciting, because if you're a vegan and you're out there, you know how hard it is to find vegan donuts anywhere. It doesn't matter where you're living in the world.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But this place is exciting because it's not only does it have vegan donuts, but you can go and have a beer and donuts, which is really, really fun.
What's the place called? Let's give them a shout, I suppose. What are they called?
The Good Town Donuts.
Nice. In Harajuku. Good Town Donuts in Harajuku.
Yeah.
Really cool place. Really
Yeah.
cool. If you're ever there, check it out.
good atmosphere too.
Yeah.
Really
Pretty
Yeah,
chill. Pretty
yeah.
chill. And so the first time we went there, we just bought a big box of donuts.
Because they do take away.
They do take away. We've been there twice. The second time, unfortunately, they didn't have all the flavors that they had the first time. So, but we still managed. That was great. So yeah, food has been amazing.
Oh, everywhere.
Yeah, we mentioned it in the previous episode that we are vegan, so we have that, I suppose, a little bit challenge sometimes to get something to eat. But for the most part, wherever we've been finding places to go.
Yes.
To quite good. I don't feel we have like sacrificed too much.
No, it's always a bit of an adventure.
Yeah, and there's been a couple times we went with friends. We went to Indian restaurants, so they always have like the vegetarian curry, and stuff like that. So, food has been crazy, and the vegan festival is coming.
It's next
this weekend.
Yes,
in Yokohama. So we're definitely gonna go check it out. So yeah, stuff like that tells you that the food is a big thing here, and whatever it is that you're into, I think you're gonna find something to eat, to do something really delicious. Or interesting.
I feel like any train station that you get, just in general, I mean, it's just a lifestyle that you have to get your head around, is that every train station you stop at, it's just like a whole world of restaurants, shops, food open up to you. I mean, it's a pretty amazing place in that way, Tokyo, because it doesn't matter where you go. There's just so much. I feel like you could be here 10 years and still not see it all.
And still you see new places, new restaurants, new bars, and like, bakeries, Japanese food, Indian food. Yeah, everything. It's been great. So food, we can't complain. It's been awesome. And it's not that expensive.
No.
We've been to a couple expensive places in Ginza or stuff like that, but you know
nice.
what you're getting into. It's like a couple times, right? But other than that, you can really eat cheaply here. I don't feel you're gonna really struggle if you're trying to eat on a budget.
Because the other thing you have here, which is pretty amazing, is your convenience store food.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, that's like could be like a whole podcast topic.
Just on convenience.
Man, what is your favorite convenience store chain so far?
Oh, mine is Family Mart.
Yeah, I know.
I like Family Mart because they do the onigiri. Am I
yeah,
saying that
the
right?
Onigiri, yeah.
With the edamame beans. And the seaweed.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
That's really good.
That's my favorite.
Really, it's just funny because the first time we stayed in Japan was in Akihabara in a hotel called Washington Hotel. And the convenience store right in front of it is a Family Mart. And I think among the Family Marts even, that's the best one.
I know. Because
it was so uncanny that the first convenience store we went to, it hasn't been beaten by any other convenience store.
No.
So we didn't know we were going into like a really high level convenience store that day. We're just having dinner from food that we bought there, right?
Yeah.
Like onigiris, like fresh squeezed juices and stuff like that. They have the dango, which is the mochi, this lolly that they made out of rice, sticky rice, and they soak it in with like some toffee. They have the daifuku, and with the sweet bean paste that they do. That's really good.
they even had strawberries with the daifuku.
They did.
That was amazing. That was really amazing.
Yeah. If you're into daifuku and you're in Akihabara, you have to walk basically till the end of the, where the stores are in the Akihabara. There's a little.
It's near the train station, isn't it?
It's near. It's not the Akihabara station. It's a subway one, which I can't remember the name at the moment. It's not far. You can just keep following everybody in the main street, and when it ends, when you stop seeing all these geeky stores and all that, you'll see a daifuku store. It's adorable. It's like pink and stripy, and all they sell is daifuku, but it's probably one of the best daifukus that I've tried here.
Oh, that's the specialist place we went to.
Right.
Not the Family Mart.
No. Clarifying that if you're into daifuku, it's probably worth going somewhere like that. But if you're kind of like, I like daifuku, then just Family Mart, especially that one, will be okay. Yeah, Family Mart's great, man. Where we live, around our house, there's not very many Family Marts.
No.
I think Family Marts might be like gangs, and they have their own territories, because we're in the
7-Eleven territory.
In the 7-Eleven gang territory. I know, and 7-Eleven is not bad, but it's not the best.
Well,
and also it's different in each one you go.
Did I tell you though that I read this week that 7-Eleven now is going into vegan bento boxes, but they haven't come out this far yet. So,
okay.
But I think
right.
it's something that's progressing. I think to maybe places like Family Mart and Lawson, particularly Natural Lawson. That's another good one.
Natural Lawson,
which they sort of moving towards more vegan, animal-friendly products.
That's cool. Awesome.
Whereas 7-Eleven, I think, is just starting to progress in that way. So I just read this week that they've just started looking at getting vegan-friendly bento in 7-Eleven. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't be long until it's everywhere.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. That's exciting. That's very exciting. Yeah.
Then you've got Natural Lawson, which if you don't know about Lawson is another
chain.
Yeah. And Natural Lawson is one that tries to promote products that are a little bit more organic, would you say? A little more animal friendly.
Yeah, that's it. So Lawson, the color of Lawson is blue, but the Natural Lawson is pink.
But do you know what's exciting? That what you can find in the Natural Lawson, and if you're a vegan, it's super exciting, and it is T's 1010 noodles.
Yeah, noodles.
Now,
instant noodles.
This is an experience that you have to have when you come to Japan. There's a place called T's 1010, and they do vegan ramen, and it's the most amazing ramen I've ever tasted.
Yeah, there's one in Tokyo Station and one in Gyugaoka Station, which is between Tokyo and Yokohama.
And that's the restaurants where you can actually go and get it beautifully freshly cooked, and it's just so warm and delicious.
It's always a line in there, especially the one in Tokyo Station, but it's totally worth it.
But
once you find it, because freaking Tokyo Station is a maze and it's huge.
It's tricky, yeah.
Now we know, I think, you just have to hug the wall on the right side, or just find one of those information
I think we still had to information booth.
Yeah, they speak English in there, so you just kind of show them. I think I showed them like a photo on my phone.
Yes, a happy cow, wasn't it?
Yeah,
happy cow?
Yeah, something like that. And then, just go here and there. Yes. And there was a little bit of a line, but a lot of foreigners actually. Yes. That's what I noticed. Fair enough. I mean, it's Tokyo Station. It's a huge hub, and the bullet train goes from there, so you'll see a lot of foreigners in there. But yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
But what's great about it is, like, to go back to the Natural Lawson, what they do is they make T's 1010 also makes like a cup noodle ramen, like, so that, normally as a vegan, I don't know if anybody else out there has experienced this, I always go to find, I love cup of noodles. Sadly, that used to be one of my favorite things.
Oh my God, I was going to say that. I was going to say that too. Like, that's my student
my
food.
$2 days.
Oh,
But they're really hard to find vegan versions. It's not something that's easy to
true,
find.
Isn't it?
It's really tricky. So I know for me, when T's 1010 decided to make a version of it, it's just fantastic because we now have them at home. We can buy stock of them because we might not necessarily be close to the restaurant, but you can make them from home, which is awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yes. That's pretty cool. So now we've been ordering whole box from Amazon, like a box with 25, and for emergencies, you just add hot water.
Yes.
And the thing is, it's not only if you're vegan. I used to eat a lot of those things when I was in uni here in Japan, like 20 years ago. Because, that's what I could afford.
Yes.
It's really cheap food.
And it's quick. It's fast.
It's fast. And you don't need to refrigerate. Like, it saves space and all these things. But, you kind of get what you pay for the most part. A lot of it has a lot of preservatives. And it's like the spices are just probably MSG and stuff like that. So it's not like the healthiest thing to be eating constantly. But at least with this 1010 ramen, it's organic. And it says that it doesn't have any preservatives or colorings or flavors and stuff like that. So it's not only vegan, it's also, I think, the healthiest version of a cup ramen. And it's still pretty cheap.
And it's delicious.
Yeah, it's great. I don't feel I'm sacrificing too much taste. No, because in here, cup ramen is just a culture.
It is.
It's like, when you go to Italy and you see the aisles and aisles of wine and the aisles and aisles of pasta. Right? In here, I guess, is the aisles and aisles of cup ramens from different brands, different flavors and all that. But like, like you said, there's just all of them have some kind of meat in it.
Yes.
Which if you eat meat, you're in heaven. But we don't. So we have to read ingredients.
Yes.
And we're getting really good at, finding the, reading the Japanese kanji for all the kind of meats and stuff like that. So yeah, we're good. we're good. But yeah, with that one, we're totally good.
We know it's safe.
Yeah, we're on the clear.
And it's really nice not only having to spend 20 minutes in an aisle trying
guessing.
to read the back.
Guessing. Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. And you feel a little bit less guilty than, it's not that, it's not an unhealthy food or like fast food or anything anymore. So yeah, that's another recommendation. If you're ever in Tokyo Station, which if you come to Japan, you're probably gonna go through Tokyo Station at some stage.
Yes.
Try and find
it's also at Narita Airport as well. If you fly into Narita,
I didn't know.
and you have a stopover, there is one at Narita Airport as well.
Oh yeah, okay. So if you guys never been here, there's 2 airports near Tokyo. So one is Haneda, which is great. We actually haven't been there.
No, we haven't.
I have
yet.
a million years ago. But it used to be like, like the small second class kind of like not many flights from there when it started. But it's just so close to the city. Whereas the main one was the Narita one, which is in Chiba, which is freaking far away. Still to this day, I feel like it's still really far.
Yes.
But I feel that they have a lot more international flights. So, for instance, for me coming from Mexico, I could only fly to Narita. Yeah, but depends where you're coming from. Maybe if you're coming from the US or from Europe or something like that, you can go straight to Haneda. So if you can fly straight to Haneda, go to Haneda. Yeah, it's worth it because you don't have to commute that much or, get that train or a transfer by bus or anything like that.
Because from Narita by train, it would still take you over an hour to get into the city.
I'll say probably 2.
Just prepare yourself for that when that's probably how long it's going to take you if you're landing at Narita, particularly just to get out. If you're catching the train.
At night, you're like the first time we came here, we arrived late night, isn't it? And so we have to take, not all trains were running from Narita, so we had to go into kind of like an expensive one.
Yes.
But it was nice. I mean, it was the first time here, right? In a long time for me and the first time ever for you.
It was the first time ever.
So being on the train after a long flight, it was pretty relaxing.
Yes.
And once you know where you're going, if you're in the right train, I love it. Because you can just forget about it. Exactly. You're not driving. You're not responsible for anything.
And we weren't in a rush.
Anything.
There was nowhere we had to be. Our hotel knew we were coming late and we were on holidays. But if you had somewhere you had to be, I would definitely give yourself an extra day. Like if you had a meeting or something like that or some business, I would definitely give yourself an extra half a day to get yourself organized. Yeah.
So if you're tight on time and you can go to Haneda, I'd say you just go there.
Yes.
If not, you can take a scenic route to the good old school fashion Narita Airport. Yeah. So what else have we been up to in these last 2 months? We've been to the Digital Art Museum, Teamlab, in Odaiba.
Which was beautiful.
What do you think about it?
It was amazing.
Because you've been to the one in Singapore, which I haven't. So how does it compare to the one in Singapore? What is it first? Like maybe for the people who don't know what we're talking about.
Teamlab is like projected art. And it's sort of so much more than that. I feel like I haven't really done it justice. They're art installations about different perspectives from different lighting to different displays. So for example, one room we walked into was... how would you describe it? Like a waterfall and and then it changed through the season. It was trees and leaves were falling, butterflies were flying.
It's very trippy.
And it was all digitally projected and it did respond. The projections responded to where you move. So if you put your hand out, say in the waterfall, the water would sort of go around your hand. It was amazing.
It's crazy.
It was really, really beautiful.
I think that was the most important or most interesting aspect of it. It's not only the light show and like the effects or... It's the fact that everything that is projected to the walls or, it's not a laser show because, like you said, it interacts. You can interact with it. You change what's happening in the images or the, landscapes that you're seeing around you. And, man, it's trippy.
Yes.
I guess I've never done LSD or anything like that, but probably that's
a similar experience.
Something like that. You're high. It's just so much... sensory,
not overload, but like sensory.
Imagine you're like in the Avatar forest. Something like that.
Yes.
It's like because it's dark, so the lights look a bit better.
Yeah.
And there's so many LEDs and lights and figures and all that. And then I like the part where you actually get to draw something, and then that thing that you draw is scanned, and then that you're drawing is actually running around in the walls. It adds to the ecosystems or whatever, so people can actually see what you did. And I draw a Homer Simpson and a Bart Simpson on a gecko, And yeah, the guy when he was about to scan it, he was like unsure, but he did. He scanned it, and it was great because then I saw my gecko with Homer and Bart Simpson running around, and actually people were noticing it. So I'm just saying, just putting it out there because it doesn't last forever.
Yes.
And it's funny because people can actually step on it. I noticed that people stepped on the geckos and it just kind of splat, but then just keeps on going, kind of thing.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So you don't kill him. Don't worry. Yeah, it was just cool.
It was really nice to see how like something that you create takes on a sort of a world of its own, and then you automatically see that process of art that you know, art inspires others, or you interact with others and their responses. I mean, it's a really great way not only for us who are big kids, but children, with a lot of children doing it too, to see like their face the excitement in their face, to see like, oh, the art we've created is becoming something more, and seeing that bigger process. I mean, it was kids were
having a ball. If you
and
know,
adults too. Just
I mean, if you
children.
have kids, I would suggest just to take them there because they seem quite entertained, and it's almost like educational, I suppose, in a way. It's very cool, and also we had a pass for a tea room, so I might just let you do the explanation of that because you're the tea connoisseur.
I do love tea. It was a little bit of surprise. I didn't know we were going, and we got there, and Pac said to me, oh, here we go, here's a special, we're going to the tea room. And I was like, tea room? What is this tea room? And then I found out that it's, you get your tea, but it's in the dark, and then it's like your tea becomes art. It's amazing. So it's like a light show for within the tea. Again, I don't even know if I'm doing it justice. So you sit down in this counter,
right? And then they put a bowl in front of you. And the guy comes and he serves. I mean, you can choose from like a range of teas and everything. And then they put this bowl, they fill it up with tea. And I suppose the placement is important because there must be like a laser on top of it. And what you see is like a flower blooming inside your teacup, right? And so, oh, that's cool, right? But the thing is, again, it reacts to what you do. So when you take your cup and you sip from it and you put it back, things change. Right, so I don't know exactly how it works. There must be some sensors on the bottom and on the top, because every time you put your cup down, it changes. Like it knows what you're doing with it, and when you finish it as well, it's just details like that. I thought it was pretty cool,
and it was such a fun.
I can't remember if the tea was good or not. Did you? I can't remember.
I did love the tea.
Was it good?
Yeah,
okay,
it was a lovely match.
You need to tell me because I'm not a very big connoisseur of teas. But I guess in here I'm gonna have to become one because it's tea everywhere, man.
There's some beautiful teas.
She's supposed to be very, very good for you. Yeah, all the green teas and all the vending machines everywhere.
It's
with
actually
tea.
interesting. There's more tea than soft drink, wouldn't you say? Like that's probably the first time I've ever seen it.
It's true because you remember one day you were looking for a Coke, and we couldn't find. We found one Pepsi somewhere, but everything else was water, tea. There's energy drinks. I think I saw. There's actually some of them have like soy milk drinks. Remember, in the station.
But it's
not
really
very many
Cokes
and Pepsis and stuff like that.
But as a tea drinker, like I don't think I've been anywhere else in the world where you can sort of like, oh, I have 30 types of tea to choose from. You know, normally it would be like some sort of soft drink or something like that, but no, it's all tea, which is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, so it keeps you awake.
For my little lady self, my little old lady tea.
I mean, I have a problem with tea. I just have a problem with hot beverages.
Yes.
I cannot stand it.
I know.
Yeah, and actually in Japan they have a saying for that. It's called nekojita, which means cat tongue. So I suppose if you have nekojita, it means that your tongue is really sensitive to temperature.
To temperature.
It's just I could never drink at the same temperature that you drink stuff. Like you serve your tea and you're like drinking it immediately, and I have to wait for it, and I'm blowing in it, and it just gets tiring.
It does.
Whereas it comes in like with ice and stuff like that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I'm good.
But they do a lovely, like here, iced tea is a big thing too, particularly through summer.
Because it was summer.
A lot of iced tea, which is really nice as well.
I think coming winter, I suppose I should get used to it because we're gonna be cold again.
Yes. Winter is coming.
Winter is coming for real skis this time, and our cats have never had any cold whatsoever because they were born in Brunei, and there's never winter in there. There's not even autumn or anything like that. It's always summer. Yes. Not even spring, I'd say. So I think today is the first day that I noticed them acting on the weather. Like they were cold.
Yes.
I think. No, don't quote me, but yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Our cats have only ever lived in a hot climate.
Yeah, and they're not fuzzy or fluffy or anything like that. So I wonder if they're gonna have to grow their own fur coat, or just we'll have to buy them some sweaters or something like that. Yeah, but that was cool. The Teamlab.
Yes.
Teamlab Museum.
It was really nice.
And that thing is actually just gonna be there for a couple years or something like that. It's not a permanent exhibition.
No.
So yeah, if you ever come to Japan in the next couple years, that's when you need to go before it goes away.
And I think it's definitely worth a trip.
I wonder why they do that, because it was full, it was packed, and imagine to move that show around the world, all the logistic and all the
I wonder though if it's an art installation space, whether they'll put something new in there, and it's about innovation, about keeping it fresh, and that it's not the same thing there all the time. Maybe perhaps.
I don't know. I wonder if the one in Singapore is the same. It is just like a temporary thing.
Yes.
Who knows?
And just to note, when you get there, if you see the lineup and you think, oh my goodness, how long am I going to have to wait? Just to let you know, the line moves really, really quickly. It moves really quickly, and it's very organized. Just jump in the line, chill out for 10 minutes. The line does start moving, and it's much better. It's not as bad as you think it's going to be.
No,
definitely
actually,
worth the wait.
Yeah, remember when we went to the Tokyo Game Show, which was like a month ago?
Yes.
It was in a place called Makuhari Mese, which is like the exhibition center. It's very far away from here. It's again in Chiba, which is like a lot of things happening in Chiba, past the airport or maybe near the airport.
Yes.
It's past Disneyland, so it is that far.
It was a bit of a trek.
And it was on a Saturday, right? On a Saturday. And so that Tokyo Game Show is 4 days. The first 2 days is for press only.
Yes.
And the last 2 days, so Saturday, Sunday, is for general public. So obviously, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to be a lot more crowded. And the moment we arrived to the station, from that moment, it's like, oh, this is gonna suck, because there was just so many people just getting off the train. And but this is the beauty about Japan. If Japan was a chaotic place, this place would not work.
No,
they need to be that organized and respectful of the rules, because otherwise this place will be a mess.
And to each other,
so many people. Yeah,
I've never known Sorry.
Go for it.
No, I've never been in a place where everybody just moves as one. For example, we got off the train and it was just like literally out the door of the train, and it was a line. And there were so many people that the station was packed, but everybody just stood so close together and waited and just then it started to slowly move, and nobody complained, nobody got angry, there was no aggression. Everybody just waited patiently, and I've just never I don't think I've ever seen that before.
A bunch of happy nerds waiting to go to our happy place,
Exactly.
Because so we got into automatically, you just follow the herd, and you automatically went into lines. And then, we did have to wait a little bit, but considering how many people were there, it was actually quite fast.
Yes.
I was glad. And once we were inside, it didn't feel as crowded as I thought it would be from being outside. So inside was quite spacious, except if you went to where the biggest games were, like Final Fantasy VII and what is Cyberpunk and all these things. But we kind of focused our attention in the indies ones, like the low budget games, and that was cool because it was a lot less crowded. Very cool. So we got to see a lot of cosplayers.
Yes, and I was actually amazed how many Switch supported indie games were out there at the moment. It was pretty amazing. Some of them were really great. Yeah,
considering that Nintendo didn't have an official presence in there, which I was a little bit disappointed. But they were relying, I suppose, in the fact that there were so many indie games doing all the work for them. But we'll see. I just wanted to see a couple of famous people in there, right? Maybe next time. Now that we're here.
They did pair with Sega though, didn't they?
Yeah,
they did for the Olympic game, was it?
Mario and Sonic Olympic 2020.
Olympic,
That's a big one because they have to capitalize on the fact that the Olympics are next year. If you guys were not aware, 2020 Tokyo Olympics. It's gonna be a zoo in here, but I suppose it's actually benefiting us in a way because people keep telling me that they have been adding a lot more of English around the city in general for signs and train station names. And they're doing this because they want tourists to just not get lost. Because I can imagine not speaking Japanese at all, it could be quite confusing. And but luckily for us now it's quite easy to.
I think also Google Maps helps a lot too.
God,
Google Maps
Google
has
Maps
been very helpful.
Is the bomb, and it's free, you
Yes.
guys. I mean, if you don't mind Google tracking your every movement, okay, they already know everything about you. So it's too late, guys. Just sorry to burst your bubble. But yeah, it's free. It's it tells you what trains from which platform, how much it's gonna be. What alternative routes you have. It's just insane. It's amazing.
I remember once we were traveling, Pac was just on it. Like he just knew exactly what he was doing. He had the Google out. You were looking at it. I just remember this tourist looking to us, and he could obviously hear us speaking in English. And he looked over and he went, "What app is that? That is amazing!" And he's just like Google Maps.
Google Maps. It's for free, baby.
He's like, "What?"
Yeah, it's amazing. It's insane. And look, I can compare because as I said, I lived here like 20 years ago, so Google Maps wasn't a thing. The train stations, I can tell the difference with English is just massive. So back in the day, without Google Maps and without the ability to read kanji for stations and all that, it was quite challenging. So today, luckily, that's not the case anymore. So yeah, get Google Maps.
I mean, for me, I've caught the train a couple of times by myself, and
how's that? How you feel?
It is challenging. It is challenging. Yeah. I think Google Maps helps because you can have it on your phone. Mm-hmm. So that is. But I think be prepared to miss the station and hop off at the next one. It's the good thing about them is if you miss your station or you do something, it's easy to turn it around because there's trains going everywhere, so you can change and turn around whenever you need to. So that's a good thing about it. And just it's only a problem if you're in a rush or you need to be somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and we're using a card called Suica card, and this thing also make things quite easy because so it's a prepaid card that you can load with money at pretty much any station, and with this card you can get in the train but also get in the bus. You can also pay for stuff in vending machines. Even some convenience stores allow you to pay with your Suica card. So it's great because you just tap. And then you don't have to worry about having like exact fares, coins or anything like that. So that's very helpful.
It's really helpful.
Yeah, so another tip there. If you come here, get a Google Map app in your phone, get a Suica card, and you're good to go. Yeah,
the Suica cards are really great. They're just at a machine. It might be a little bit confusing. There's a few different places you can buy your tickets,
right?
But it's the green. It has a penguin.
It has a penguin. Yeah, you can't miss
it.
Look
for the penguin.
And in every station, there's gonna be an information or a person in charge. Like bigger stations are more likely to have English-speaking staff, but also the machine has an English function that you can change the language. It's just that it can be overwhelming if everything is in kanji and where is the English button?
Yes.
But yeah, it's there. Trust me, it's there. Like you'll be fine. Trust me, you'll be fine. So yeah, so a lot of good stuff happening. I'm very happy to be here. And then Comic-Con is coming on November. So that's next month. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing in Halloween. Halloween is kind of like a big thing for us. We get dressed and try to go out and see what's what. We don't know what we're going to be doing here in Japan.
Don't know where we're going to go to this year.
I'm thinking, I don't know. I have to guess. We have to choose an outfit and choose a place. See what kind of events are going. There's a lot of places that are selling already Halloween decorations.
Yes.
I'm very happy to see that.
I wasn't
Halloween,
expecting that. That was a surprise to me. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, no, me neither. No. Yeah, I couldn't remember if Halloween was a thing here, but it is. And you have your pumpkins and all your ghosts and everything like that. So that's great. Yeah. Well, so we'll keep you posted. So what we're going to be doing on Halloween. Yeah. It's just insane. There's already mid-October. Where does time go?
It's been flying by.
And it's just hilarious that 1 year ago we didn't even know we were going to be in Japan. Man, that's crazy.
That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. It's crazy to think about where life takes you.
Yeah, you never know. You never really know what's gonna happen. But I'm just so happy that everything went well.
Yes,
we're here, guys. We got our new microphones. I hope the sound is decent, and we're gonna keep working on ironing out any kinks that we might have yet. But we're really happy to be doing this. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring an episode every week. And if you guys want to reach to us any questions or for tips or whatever, if you're planning to come to Japan or if you want to learn Japanese, which is actually a good segue to the last section of the podcast. So Mac, she's learning Japanese as we speak since she got here. I mean, since we got here, she already could read hiragana. But now that she's here, she's trying to improve, and me as well, of course. But I already could speak Japanese before we came this time around, so I've been just teaching a little bit here and there of Japanese.
Yes,
to Mac.
I've been really appreciating the help.
Yeah,
because I mean, there is definitely English here, and you can find your way around speaking English, but it is a place where you would really, a little bit goes a long way.
Oh yeah,
a little bit goes a long way. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Even a little bit, like you said, it makes a difference, I suppose.
Yes.
Like when you show the Japanese people that you're actually bothering to, because I think Japanese people understand the Japanese language is quite complicated. They acknowledge that, and that only in Japan is spoken. So the fact that you want to learn it kind of probably means something to them.
Yes.
So yeah, it's great. It's great. But it's funny, when you're learning and all this, because who is telling in a year, a couple year times, you'll be also, completely fluent in Japanese. You never know. So it'll be interesting to see the difference, right?
We'll see.
So one of the interesting things in the Japanese language, which is a little bit annoying and mysterious, is like when you count things, it's different for whatever it is that you're counting. So in basically any other language that I ever heard of, when you want to say one apple, do you say number
manzana.
One, an apple?
Yes.
Una manzana. So just the number and the name of the thing you're speaking, you're talking about. In Japanese, it depends if the thing is round, or if it's flat, or if it's alive, or if it's an animal, or if it's big, or if it's a machine, or if it's a building. So they all have their own counters, or if it's a person. And so I don't know why they did that for, like, really, because every other language copes without that kind of mechanism. But, it is what it is.
And as a new language learner, this has been a bit of a learning curve for me.
Right, yeah. So when you go to a restaurant, right, and you go through the door, the first thing they ask you is, "Nanme sama desu ka?" Which means, like, how many people is?
Yes.
And so when it's just you and me, what would you say?
It's futari desu?
Futari desu, yeah. So for futari means two people.
Two people.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but that word only exclusively means two people, right? So is number two is ni, and people is hito, right? So you don't say ni hito desu. No, you say futari desu. Right. If it's one person, is hitori desu. So hitori and futari are the only, let's say, exceptions to that counter of people rule. Because after the third person, you actually say the number three, san,
nin
and then nin.
Okay.
Nin, which is, nin is also person. So san, nin.
San, nin, desu?
Des.
Okay.
Des is basically the to be verb,
Yes.
goes at the end. So des. And then four people would be yon, nin, des.
Yes.
Go, nin,
Nin,
des.
des.
So 5 people. 6 is goku, nin, des.
Des.
So after the third person, it gets kind of easy.
Yes.
It's just if you're on your own or you're just in a couple, have to remember those words.
Those two are the ones to remember.
Yeah, and then very close to them is hitotsu and futatsu.
Futatsu.
So hitori, futari is one person, two persons, but hitotsu and futatsu are counters for round things.
Yes.
Like items, like apples.
But this I didn't
or
know.
cups of coffee or something like that.
But this I didn't know.
Right.
So
okay.
I felt so good. I was like, futari des, and I'm like waving two fingers. But no, it was only after you told me that this rule existed, that everything, it's not a number, it's not a thing that I'm asking for. It's people and then things, and it's even round things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have a different thing. So food is a round thing, is that correct?
Yeah, like a bowl, or say like
A
an
bowl.
apple, right?
Okay.
So hitotsu, futatsu, mitsu, yotsu, all that's counters for, I would say, round small items.
Okay.
It could be many things, and this counter is useful because it can be applied to many things. So that's a good thing about it. It doesn't have to be food. It doesn't have to be round, right?
Okay.
It's just items, in general.
Yeah.
So, but it sounds kind of like hitori and futari.
Yes.
Hitotsu, futatsu. So if you say
Totsu?
one apple, please.
Yes.
Something like that. You could say apple is ringo.
Dingo.
Ringo, like Ringo Starr.
Yes.
Ringo, hitotsu, kudasai. So kudasai is please.
Dingo.
Hitotsu,
kudasai.
kudasai.
Okay.
And now you want to say 2 apples, please.
Futatsu.
So ringo.
Ringo.
So
Sorry.
apple, ringo.
Ringo. Futatsu. Kudasai.
Kudasai. Yay.
Okay.
That's it. So you don't say ringo, hitori, kudasai. That would be hilarious.
Okay.
Like that's so because hitori is only for people. So yeah. So that's interesting. One of the interesting things about the Japanese language, the counters, right? So for instance, the cats we have 3 cats, right? And to count pets or little animals is ippiki, ni hiki, san biki, yon hiki. So you do say the number as it is, ichi, ni, san, shiyo, but then you have to put piki or hiki or biki, depending. So we'll get onto that one next time. I'm just saying, like, whenever I was talking about my cats to the immigration agents, I have to be mindful that they were not sannindes because they're not people. They were not mitsu because they're not little round objects.
No.
But they are cats, they're animals, a little animals.
They're kind of cute.
Sanbiki. Yeah, neko-chan sanbiki desu. Yeah, so, man, so much fun.
But that's definitely part of the fun of learning, isn't it? It's just that one of those...
Messing up, yeah, man. And, I mean, I think they're nice Japanese because as I say, it's part of their culture to be polite, I suppose. So I don't know whether they want it or not. Sometimes I feel like they have to be polite. So you never know if they're actually being polite because they want to or what. But I guess for the most part, they're naturally
I feel
peaceful,
like natural peace, lovely.
Yeah,
everybody's been very, very helpful.
I know. So far, like I'd say our experiences have been awesome.
And it just, even when you're trying, giving it a go, it's that people are really... looks like they're trying to genuinely help you.
Yeah, no, that's it. If you're lost or something like that, or if you're trying, even with minimal Japanese, they'll really try with their minimal English perhaps to help you back.
To help, yes.
So yeah, it pays out to, even on the plane when you're coming here for a trip, it's kind of like grab one of those little books of Japanese and just learn a tiny bit. Just say good morning, ohayo gozaimasu.
You can also, I heard from someone that like you can do Skype lessons, which I thought was really cool.
That's cool.
So that was a really cool thing. I don't have the contact, but I've just been hearing from a few of my friends. I don't know, but I just thought it was a really cool concept. The thought that you could do some Skype lessons, even like, I mean, we're in Japan, but if you were overseas and you knew you were coming, you could Skype to do Skype lessons. Awesome. That's kind of cool. Yeah. That was kind of cool.
That's very convenient.
Yes.
And it's good for the teacher too. What a cool job, because you can work from home.
From anywhere, yeah.
You can teach Japanese.
Yeah.
Well, if it's kind of like an online course, but with a live person.
Nice.
Yes. I wonder how much it is, because in Japan, especially in big cities, I suppose, they usually have free Japanese lessons in the city councils or like the community centers kind of thing. I used to go to a few of those in Hiroshima, and they were quite good. But they're usually beginners lessons, which is probably what we're looking for at the moment for you. So yeah, but if they are only held when you have to work or you're busy or something like that, well, that's the thing.
That's the challenge.
And they're usually either super cheap or like run by volunteers.
Yes.
Or it's just very symbolic, like very cheap lessons.
Yes.
But if you're serious about it, I guess you can just get some private lessons, but that's going to be expensive. I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure how much. We should probably look into that.
Yes.
But the Skype thing sounds cool.
Yeah, I thought the Skype thing sounded like a good way to go because it's very convenient.
Yeah.
And you can do it when you're available and at times that suit you, rather than trying to fit into a class. Sometimes it's difficult with work hours, particularly in Japan, because work hours can be quite long. It is quite difficult to sort of find time to schedule in lessons, particularly on your day-to-day, like in a weekly time slot. But
and then on the weekends you want to do something like fun or something.
Yes.
Well, it depends how your particular situation, I suppose. But yeah, Skype would be an interesting option.
The good thing is there's so many options. So
well, I mean, you're in Japan, like
yes,
this must be a way
walking
to
down
learn.
the street
as long as you want to. And you're driven and all that. And I think it's actually fun. It's probably a lot more. It's a lot easier than we might realize.
Yes.
I think the writing and reading aside, I think the spoken Japanese might not be actually too difficult. For me as a Spanish speaker, it's actually even easier because the pronunciation is quite the same. It is
similar, isn't it?
The vowels are the same, exactly the same, and I find that it makes a dramatic difference.
I would agree.
In that. Yeah, so I'm lucky. Probably for most of you guys that are like native in English, you might have a little challenge at the beginning, but you train your ear and you start hearing the sounds. And I mean, I know a lot of people who speak perfect Japanese are Americans or Canadians or Australians, stuff like that. It's just practice, like everything else. Yeah. So that's where we're at. Yeah. Anything else you want to share today? Anything that we missed? We probably missed a few things because it's been 2 months trying to squeeze them into one podcast.
One podcast.
Yeah. I suppose a rugby cup is
we've
happening
been
as
following,
we speak.
yes.
You've been kind of bummed because you haven't been able to go to.
Not yet.
Who you're rooting for?
Well, obviously, I feel like obligated. I'm rooting for Australia.
But they're out? Are they out?
No, they're
already?
still here. They're still
really?
here. They got a game next week.
Oh,
so
nice. Against who?
Against.
Who's left? Because
I
you
was
said
just
they're
thinking,
close to
I
the
haven't seen the
semifinals?
semifinals round up
Okay.
yet. I only saw Japan one.
So Japan's
on
there,
Sunday
New
night.
Zealand's still there, USA
South
is still there,
Africa.
South Africa, Australia.
Australia's playing England.
Oh,
So that's
oh,
who
the
they're playing.
revenge.
Yeah.
And we know where this is happening. You said in Ottawa.
Ottawa.
I don't know where that is.
No, I
Sounds
don't.
like a Canadian city, but it can't be.
I
right?
feel like
No, that would be
we
weird.
need to
Has
do
to be
some
somewhere.
research.
We need to check on them. But you said they were like $250, right? The tickets.
Yes. I mean, the tickets are quite expensive, but we are in semi-final time, so.
But if you had the money, can you still buy them, or are they all sold
Well,
out, or?
apparently, I was having a look, and there were still seats available.
Cool. Because with this Hagebis, the Typhoon, they didn't cancel the no, they did
They
cancel.
cancelled the game, and they were drawn. So, like,
Right,
instead of
that is
playing,
weird.
it was counted because obviously,
They had to
depending
cancel
on
games,
the
right?
score,
Yeah. Right.
is like they tally it up at the end. But
Okay.
tie, they sort of get even amount of points.
It's kind of fair.
So it's fair.
What a shame if you have tickets or something like that.
Yeah, that is a
I mean,
shame,
of course,
but-
I think they give your money back. But imagine
Yes.
you actually flew to Japan to that particular game, and
I'm hoping they had tickets to
Oh.
Sunday night because Sunday night's game was really good. But I think better to be safe than
yeah,
in the middle of
yeah,
it. That's
yeah.
that's one of the things you appreciate about Japan, even though it has all these natural disasters. They are so on it.
Yeah.
But they're not afraid to cancel things. They're not
Mhm.
afraid to postpone things. They're very organized in that way, and they're taking care of the people.
It's not their first time in the rodeo,
No,
like you
exactly.
say. You know,
Yeah.
they've been doing it for a while with all the natural disasters
Yes.
and everything. Yeah, man. We went to a baseball game though.
Oh, that
was fun. With the Yokohama Bay Stars
Yes.
and the Tokyo Giants.
Yes.
That was fun. And
That was awesome.
that was when you felt your first earthquake.
That was my first
in your
earthquake.
life ever,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
That was it.
It was an intensity 2, which is
Yes.
supposed to be quite low, but because we were up high,
We were in the bleachers.
we
yes.
actually felt it quite
we
a
did.
bit.
We could feel
Yeah.
a little bit of a wave.
And I remember just your face. You were trying to decipher what was happening. And
was a
for a moment, me
"What
too,
is
me too,
that?"
because I haven't been in one in a long time, and I wasn't sure because the crowd is insane. They just get so into the game. It's so unexpected, I suppose, if you think that Japanese are quiet and like shy and stuff. Like that's not the case in a baseball game. When they're in
No.
the stadium, they're singing, they're chanting, they're rooting for their players, and every player had their own song, which is hilarious. And then at that particular time of the earthquake, I remember people were like stomping on the ground with their feet as part of the cheer,
Yes,
right?
it was part of the cheer.
So I wasn't sure if it was just like the vibration from the people stomping their feet and everything, but no, it was pretty soon. I got my notification on the phone that an earthquake is coming already. So
But I just love that nobody cared.
Nobody
The earthquake
cares.
was like
No,
nothing.
level
They
two-
were, and then the next moment was because he
it's
just about
nothing. Yeah.
he didn't hit a home run, but he hit it out. I don't know my baseball very well, but he hit the ball. Because I know cricket, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's say it was cricket. Hit the ball for 6. He hit the ball right out to the side
Right.
of the, I don't know, what's
Third
it called?
base.
A field.
Uh-huh.
Field.
Ah, yeah, left
It's not a
field,
pitch.
right field. Yeah, field. Yeah.
Field. And everyone's like, yeah. And it's just, that caused more commotion than the, than the earthquake. So that was exciting.
Yeah, it's like I think people didn't even register it.
No.
It was just me and probably a couple of foreigners in there, and
Yeah.
and you.
Did you get a favorite player after the game? Did you have like your chant?
Lopez.
I know.
Lopez. Where was he from? From Cuba
Yes.
or Costa Rica or something like
Oh, I thought it was
that? Cuba.
Cuba, but I need to double check.
Latin America. Let's
He
just
was Latin American.
settle it at Latin America.
Yes.
So of course I had to go for
Yes.
Lopez.
Lopez.
So, Lopezu.
I just liked his song the
Lopezu.
best. Bum, bum.
Lopezu.
Yes.
Gato se
Pesu.
Lopezu. Every single player have their own song. That's just so awesome.
It was so much fun.
Plus the anthem of the
Yeah.
and then that guy that got like a particular like special award at the end.
Oh, that was
or
really nice.
He was retiring or
Yeah,
something,
that was
or
really
got like
nice.
this massive record of.
We got
something.
fireworks, so that was
Yeah,
cool too.
man, that was awesome.
Do you
It's
know what-
awesome.
do you
So
know what
I
I-
love to go again, even though I don't really follow sports that closely. going to the stadium is something. It's like a different thing. Watching them on TV, to me, it's a little bit boring. But on the stadium, I'll watch anything. So maybe we should just try and for the cash to go to the rugby then. That's just so much money, man. The Backstreet Boys came.
I know, we missed them.
But it was cancelled, no?
Yeah, it was cancelled.
They got cancelled.
They
postponed, do you know?
No, cancelled.
Oh, seriously? So they're not playing?
I don't know. I have to check into whether they're playing or not. I don't know. But we were excited.
Oh, so many heartbroken people
40-year-old
in their late
women.
30s and 40s. Oh, man. The Backstreet Boys here are huge. Still to this day. All their songs are in the karaoke and everything.
Oh, that's fun.
So, oh, man. I can't believe that they would cancel.
Yeah.
They probably postponed because imagine.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
So they would be forfeiting a lot of money too. But I don't know.
You've got to be.
I wonder how it works.
Yeah. You got to, as I said, got to keep people safe. So.
Yeah, that's it.
It's more important than a.
So,
I know it's hard to believe, but
it just really caused a lot of problems in all levels, say, for people in this crazy typhoon. But anyway, we survived. We're here.
Yes.
And we're here to stay. So I think we can wrap it up. Thank you for your audience, guys. And we're going to be seeing you next week. Anything else you might want to add?
No,
before we go? We're
that's
good?
great. Look forward to it.
We're getting close to the hour, so I'm very proud of ourselves. So, well, thank you for your audience, guys. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Pac and Mac in Japan. Have a good week. See you later.
See you later.
Bye-bye.